The end of the season is almost here. We are left with less than a month to climb, and look, I have my own opinion about whether you should still bother making that final push when we are this close to the end. But that's a topic for another video. Today we are focusing on something way more practical. I want to give you a list of 8 junglers, not in any particular order, who is, in my opinion, are the absolute best picks to climb with for the end of the season. Doesn't matter if you're stuck in bronze below hell or if you're aiming for diamond for the first time. These 8 champions perform extremely well across multiple ranks and skill levels. Sure, some of them shine more in certain elos than others, but what makes them great is their consistency, reliability, and how much impact they can have on the average solo queue game. These are 8 picks that can genuinely help you make that final push. Dr. Mundo. Let's start this list strong with a champion that is basically the definition of stubborn solo queue consistency. Dr. Mundo. Mundo Jungle is one of those picks where you are not playing to out-mechanic anyone, you are playing to outlast them. End of the season games are often chaotic, rushed, and filled with people making desperate plays, and Mundo thrives in that environment. His clear is stable, his ganks are straightforward, and once he hits mid-game with just a couple of tanky items, you become this unkillable wall running straight at the enemy team. He's also incredibly forgiving. Misposition, you live. Failed gank, you walk away. Late smite, you usually don't instantly lose the game, and when people are stressed in the end of the season games, these small mistakes happen often. Mundo takes advantage of that. He doesn't need perfect setups or coordinated play, he just needs you to farm, engage at the right time, and let chaos happen around you while you tank everything. He's perfect for players who want a simple but brutally effective climb tool. He's not flashy, but he wins games, and in the final weeks of the season, that's exactly what you want. Switching gears completely, let's talk about Diana, the queen of explosive jungle engages. Diana is a champion that has always had a special place in late game season climbing metas because of how fast she can snowball a game. Her clear is incredibly fast, she spikes hard at level 6, and if you get even one good fight around Dragon or Rift Herald, the entire game can shift in your favor instantly. What makes Diana so strong right now is the balance she brings between raw damage and tankiness. You are able to one-shot the enemy backline while still being tanky enough to survive long engagements. And when you are climbing at the end of the season, you want champions who punish bad positioning, and no one punishes mispositioned carries as brutally as Diana. She is also one of the few AP junglers that fit into almost any team comp. Need engage? You have it. Need magic damage? You have got it. Need someone who can play both early game skirmishes and late game teamfights? Diana does both perfectly. If you want to pick with insane carry potential and huge playmaking moments, Diana should absolutely be on one of your go-to champions for this end of the season push. Now let's talk about Nocturne, a champion built for solo queue. Nocturne is one of the strongest ladder climbing junglers because of how reliably he creates pressure. When you hit level 6, every lane instantly becomes a potential kill. You don't even need your laners to be good. Your ultimate essentially forces misplays out of the enemy team. Someone will overextend, someone will forget to ward, someone will panic, and Nocturne turns every one of those moments into a kill. He's also great for players who want a simple, clean game plan. Farm, hit 6, ult constantly, snowball, end the game. Nocturne forces the game into your hands. Your map pressure alone makes the enemy play badly. Add in his strong dueling, easy objective control, and unstoppable mid-game picks, and you have a champion that can single-handedly drag games across the finish line. He's especially good when your teammates are struggling, because your engages are guaranteed, you don't rely on anyone else. And during the final weeks of the season, when everyone is panicking and playing unpredictably, Nocturne becomes even more deadly. You want 3 wins? Nocturne is your guy. Next up is Briar, the champion people still underestimate even after her nerfs. Briar jungle is pure violence. She duels almost every jungler in the game, her ganks are terrifying, and her ability to dive early and survive with insane healing is perfect for punishing low elo and mid elo mistakes. Briar excels at snowballing. 1 kill becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, and suddenly you are sprinting down lanes with unstoppable momentum. And because of how the end of the season meta tends to go, fast games, massive fights, lot of skirmishes, Briar fits perfectly. She also has one of the most iconic ultimates for climbing. Long range, targeted engage. You pick a carry, you fly at them, and unless they react instantly with perfect timing, they are dead. This forces splashes, forces panic, and forces mistake. She also has one of the most iconic ultimates for climbing. long range, targeted engage. You pick a carry, you fly at them, and unless they react instantly with perfect timing, they are dead. This forces splashes, forces panic, and forces mistakes. She's a fantastic choice if you want a more aggressive, high-tempo jungler who rewards confidence and punishes hesitation. And trust me, at the end of the season, players hesitate a lot. Now, let's talk about Wukong. Wukong might not be the most obvious pick for some people, but if you are looking for a raw teamfight impact and reliability, she's one of the best champions you can lock in right now. His early skirmishing is strong, his ganks are clean thanks to his W and gap closing, and once he hits level 6 he becomes an absolute teamfight monster. Wukong shines especially in chaotic fights. His ultimate is one of the best engage tools in the entire game, and because it knocks up multiple targets, it can single-handedly turn around teamfights that your team should have lost. Low-ranked players often clump up during fights, which makes Wukong's impact even greater. And the beauty of Wukong is that you don't have to be a mechanical god to pull off game-winning ult combos. His kit is intuitive, his clear is healthy, and his dwelling is strong enough to contest early objectives. He's also very flexible in itemization, letting you adjust depending on whether you need more tankiness or more damage. He's a fantastic end of the season pick because he brings consistency, engage, and scaling. He makes your world team better just by existing. Next up is Lydia, one of the most underrated climbing champions in the game, especially at the end of the season. Lydia's strength comes from her speed, her kiting, and her ability to control fights over long duration. While other champions rely on bursts or instant engages, Lydia's damage ramps up and melts entire teams while she dances around every threat. Her jungle clear is extremely fast and she's notoriously hard to catch, and once you master her movement, you become almost impossible to pin down. This alone makes her a great pick in massive solo queue environments where people struggle to focus targets properly. Lydia's ultimate is also a massive teamfight tool. One well-timed sleep can turn a lost fight into a free win, and because players at the end of the season often group randomly and fight without vision, landing multi-man sleeps becomes much easier. She's a champion that rewards intelligence, spacing, and good pathing. If you enjoy kiting and play around movement speed, Lilia is one of the best scaling AP junglers you can pick for the final push. Kayn is one of the most flexible junglers in the entire game, and that alone makes him an outstanding pick for climbing quickly. You essentially get two champions in one. Shadow Assassin for blowing up carries instantly, and Rust for frontline shredding and instant healing. This adaptability lets you respond to the enemy team comps, the pace of the game, or even your teammates' playstyles. If the enemy team has squishies running around with no peel, you go blue. If the enemy team has tanks or bruisers stacked, you go red. Simple. Kayn also has incredible mobility. His ability to walk through walls makes him one of the hardest junglers to track, which lets you control the game tempo. You choose where fights happen, you choose when to engage, you choose whether you want to play early or scared. And because end of the season games can be extremely inconsistent, having a jungler who can quickly adapt to whatever draft you are handed is extremely valuable. Kayn gives you agency, damage, sustain, mobility, everything you could want for climbing. And finally, we have Jarvan 4th. A timeless jungler pick that seems to always come back into the meta when it matters most. Jarvan is straightforward, reliable, and incredibly good at setting up plays. His engage is instant, his ganks are powerful, and his ability to isolate carries with cataclysms creates guaranteed impact every game. Jarvan is the perfect end of the season jungler if you want a champion who can dictate the pace of the game without needing your teammates to be perfect. Even in low ranks, your EQ combo forces flashes, and even if your laners are behind, your ultimate setup kills no matter what. He also transitions well into mid-game objectives. Dragons, Herald, and Baron fights all favor champions with strong engage, and Jarvan might be the single best engage jungler in the game for solo queue. If you want consistency, utility, and strong early pressure, Jarvan is the perfect pick to round out the list. And those are my 8 best junglers to climb with in patch 25.24 for the end of the season. Whether you're fighting your way out of bronze or pushing into diamond territory, these champions will help you make that final climb with confidence. They are reliable, powerful, and most importantly, they fit almost any rank and playstyle. If you want me to turn this into a full tier list or break down each champion more deeply, let me know. I might drop a full meta breakdown next week if there is enough interest. Good luck on your final push, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.